Here's your daily market review for Wednesday, March 5th, 2025. Let's go.
Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well.
This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent, your daily market review, Wednesday, March 5th, 2025. Hopefully you're having a great day. If you're following the channel, you should be printing money. I can hear the registers ringing, cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Folks doing really well again. Appreciate all the love, support, generous donations. Interesting action today. Not surprised that we're oversold on ridiculous levels as we talked about, and not that necessarily we can't go lower later. We are due to bounce, and we also have some certain trades that look better than others. We talked about how the dollar now is starting to fall off a cliff, which should help commodities. So we'll talk about some of those trades. And again, we'll go deeper into a bunch of things. So again, I appreciate all the love, support, generous donations. You guys have been amazing. I know a lot of folks are absolutely killing the market this week, and they're following some of these trades and executing them well, and people are sharing their great trades in the Discord room. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. So we know going into the rest of the week, basically you have not much tomorrow, but then you have the jobs data on Friday. We expect unemployment to rise. Again, when you cut government jobs, you cut government spending, you're going after all of the, I don't know what you want to call it. You decide what you want to call it, but all the junk out there that's being wasted, you're going to have GDP slowing. You're going to have unemployment rise. It's pretty natural. However, near term, we are in the oversold position. And as I said in the previous recaps, I wouldn't be surprised if the rest of the month, maybe even into OPEX, you get some counter trend bounce or choppiness from here. Not necessarily that we have to go ripping and the bull market's back on, but I think you would get some sideways action as you go. Again, if you have the Stock Traders Almanac, today is typically Wednesday, the Ash Wednesday is typically bullish. And then you go look next week, there's some bull days as you get into OPEX. And then you got, lots of, I would say, I don't know, you get bulls until like the 19th. Right, the middle of March is typically. So if you do the math on that, right, like I said, 10 days of whatever, holding up, in my opinion. We'll see what happens again, because the market doesn't follow necessarily that, but it does look like, based on tariffs and what's going on, Trump is lightening his load, and that could change at any point, right? He's talking about delaying certain ones, and again, the whole purpose of him going so harshly, if people don't understand this, is to play the negotiation game. He knows people always come back to the playing table, the negotiating table. All right, so if you want to join the Discord room, links in the description below. Tons of trades, ideas, thoughts there. If you want to catch up on Calendly, click on the link. Let's chat. Take 30 minutes. Know how I can help if you're looking to buy, sell, invest in real estate, and you do not hit me up. You get 2 agents for the price of 1. If you use my services, I will help you get a great deal anywhere in the country. Close another deal this week, helping a client out. Love it. Absolutely love it. If you need help with, obviously, trading and whatnot, don't hesitate as well. Also posting all the trades, ideas, and thoughts on the Twitter. Also, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, get the notifications, ding, 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 ding. Especially folks who typically follow on StockTwits. I apologize. I don't know why they booted me off their platform. Gave me really no reason. Others said violating house rules. I've been posting the same way for, I don't know, seems like a decade on there. So I don't know what they liked or did not like. Somebody clearly reported me and whatever, who cares? Doesn't matter. So if you've been following typically on StockTwits, you might want to hit the notification bell on the YouTube so you get notified when the videos come out. Also follow, like, subscribe, as we talked about, and check out tradingagent.com, turning profits into properties and passive income. That's the goal. Recommended reading, videos, tweets, fun stuff, all sorts of cool stuff here. Check it out. All right, let's get into it. We know the Fed watch tool for March. There's nothing really planned. There's only 1 rate cut expected the rest of the year. And again, the only way that you're going to get more rate cuts in time is if the economy slows. We've talked about this many a times. And people get kind of frustrated by it, but I guess I understand. There's not much you can do here, right? Again, if you want to get interest rates down, they can't just cut rates. They're going to have to be some weakness, and I think the weakness is it's intentional. If I was an acting president coming into the start of my term, I would get all the bad crap out of the way. That's kind of how I look at it. Whether you like the guy or not, again, we're trying to make money here. I don't care. I don't want to play politics here. I want to play my green. I don't care about red or green. Sorry, red or blue. I'm looking at the green. That's all that matters here, folks. If you want to talk politics and discuss all that crap, go right ahead. I don't care. Meaning, like, it just doesn't matter. Like, for the market wise, again, let's just interpret the data. Bitcoin chopping around. We've talked about this, that once the channel broke, right, that this area now is resistance. I'd be watching it, because if you can get back into it, great. I mean, there's a lot of rumors of strategic Bitcoin reserve and then not. So again, I personally don't really trust it. Not meaning that long term, but it just, as long as you're below the breakout, or sorry, the channel lows, to me it doesn't make sense to really buy unless you're at extreme lows, because again, it could come back into the low 70,000s. Oil back into our zone. I've talked about this about a bazillion times. Zoom out. I mean, about as far as I can really go. I mean, it seems like 7-8 years, oil just holds the 60s. Again, yeah, demand destruction, recession, but look what just happened. Oil went from 80 down to 65 essentially. We're expecting a bounce. Natty gas holding up really well again. That's why I like some of the oil and gas drillers. XOP, again, is my favorite trade if I'm going long personally. I'll explain why. Again, we'll get to that chart here shortly. Stick around. Again, if you're new to the channel, please click like, subscribe, watch the whole video. There's tons of insights. All right, so let's jump into it. The dollar. Dollar make you holla. Why do I like metals, miners, gold, material names? Again, we talked about dollar volatility is key. Long term, we talked about it, but here's the thing, right? Miners can get whacked, things can pull back, but the dollar now is to me, and again, because if you see this gap, don't forget it's a big XDiv gap. So we were channeling slightly higher, and then here's the pivot point, and then we started making the lows. Now we're gapping down again. This was XDiv, so pretend this was added on top, and you would have made a new high, then you made a lower high, lower low, lower low, and boom, 200-day channel broke, kapow. Dollar volatility, again, if the dollar is weakening, commodities should be rising. TLT, that's why I think you might have some really good bottoms. And again, it's not going to be just straight line moves, but you're going to get some nice reactions. I think money will be coming out of tech and into commodities. TLT, keep an eye on it, especially with the tariff stuff. It's going to get interesting. They priced in some pretty bad crap. Talked about this one hitting the 200-day potentially and rally chopping around until jobs numbers. There you go, playing out perfectly. VIX coming into the close here. It's in the 21s. I mean, we talked about this fake, I don't know, I want to say fake breakout, but this 23 area is really importante. We get over it, we pull back typically, unless things are getting worse. At this point, this is where if I was playing going into OPEX, wouldn't be surprised if we just kind of find our way back down under 20. Makes sense. That's what they do. Everyone gets bearish. Remember, if you go look at the fear greed index, it's heavily fear. We're in the extreme fear scenario. And that, again, doesn't mean you can't get worse, but you shouldn't really anticipate it, right? You should let volatility come in, then it goes up. If you ever go look at big trends, when you had big down moves, that's what you would go. Volatility expand, volatility would come down, volatility expand again, boom, 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 and the market would head lower. But there was counter trends, right? VIX seems to be holding up in this. I mean, I don't know. I'd be watching probably in the 90 again. It feels like it's coming. SPY guy going into the close here. It is at, I mean, look at these candles. We talked about this yesterday. Could you get the 200-day? Maybe. But you're in the VAP zone. That's where we're watching. Obviously, tech has been leading down, but due to bounce, the whole market, look what it did. Doink. Now, near term, this is where you get a little sneaky. Is it just going to be like this kind of crap? Or do we have, I don't really like to draw trend lines when it's super steep because I don't think they really matter as much. I'd be looking at, again, getting back up into this area. I might even bring it to the 100-day minimum. Man, you could actually probably put, so that would be the first resistance. Here would be probably, here would be my anticipated max upside move. Probably 20-day coming in. Makes sense. 596. I mean, I'm putting that back in my notes. SPY max upside. Keep an eye on it. And then wherever your positions are when that happens, you probably need to start taking a load off Mary. Q. Here we go. We're talking about this one bouncing at the 200-day. Perfect. Again, max upside would be somewhere around here. First resistance somewhere around here. Keep it simple, stupid. You see that 519, 520. I would say 520. All right, let's speed this up. IWM. Here we go. Talking about oversold back into an old support resistance zone. Here you go. VAP zone. Due to bounce, decent volume down here. So I would anticipate maybe a little bigger bounce at worst. You should see, again, I know a few people have been short. The IWM, congrats. Love the trade. Worked out. DIA. DIA high, DIA low. DIA. Not, this one's just choppy. I don't know, man. Gold. I like that it's lagging a little bit. Obviously, it's been on a huge move. Cool. Dollar breaking. This is where it gets interesting, right? Because, again, I've said this, like near term, you don't know. I mean, you hit the 2 times range on the monthly upside, But we're watching silver. Like I said, I trust gold more when silver and the miners start catching up. Silver today, look at this, dropped. Dollar blew out, and look at silver, close at the high of the day. I like that a lot. Now, again, if you buy silver here, just keep a tight stop. GDX, same kind of thing, right? These things feel like they're due to bounce. Look at these moves, close at the high of the day, right? GDXJ, look at this, up a whopping 5%. Like, this is what you need to see. Gold barely up, and miners ripping and silver up. Again, leave a comment below if you recognize this pattern. Now, again, it all could change if the dollar starts catching a bid again. And I mean, tariffs, all this crap. But man, this feels pretty legit here. And this is where I might be like, finally the dollar cracks. Let's go look at your favorite names now. Here, I'm going to spend a few minutes on miners. AEM, this one's been the boss, right? Boss has been holding high and tight. AG, been a laggard, but look where it's been holding, around the fives, keeping on it. Royal Gold, right? I'm going to go through all of my miners that I watch, right? Chopping up near the highs. Is this thing about to break out? What happened? Right? Here's another one. Wheaton Precious Metals, another boss, leading, holding up. It looks like it's about to break out. FNV, keeping on these names, breaking out. NFGC, this is one that's a smaller little guy. You might want to snag that right there in the lows. SILV, again, if you want to watch some of these like other silver miners, about to break out. This one looks better, right? This one looks good, right? You got multiple, you got a base pattern here. Now, again, if you do the 2 times range, you add it to it, you probably got like, 4 or 5 points upside. Silge, I mean, this is the miners ETF. Look at it, starting to catch a bid, higher lows, worth a watch. MAG, silver, keep an eye on it. Again, not really seeing too much. Hecla, this one has been, looks like at the trend line. I mean, I was looking at this one yesterday. That looks like a solid potential there. SKE, right? Holding the 100-day. Again, I'm wrapping through these really quick. Harmony, which is funny because this thing used to be a laggard. Here you go. Holding the 200-day, keeping on it. Newmont, if you want to take a stab at it, we talked about if you bought it in the 30s, maybe it comes back down. Again, if the dollar crushes and these starts ripping, here you go. 50-day, I mean, great opportunities. Pass, look at this. Chopping, consolidating. Is it about to break out? I don't know. Just keep an eye. I like them. I like the trades. I like the material trades. Taiwan Semi, again, getting that bid with that $100 billion deal with the United States, build in Arizona. Okay, we talked about it's probably oversold due to bounce. Congrats. Again, if you want to play some of these semis on a bounce, they're oversold. Makes sense. Channel lows, bounce. Again, this is where it seems like people are like, oh, you can't, you're always bearish. I'm like, no, you got to like play the evidence. Again, AMD is such a dog. I don't even know. NVIDIA, we talked about this one breaking the range lows. Still, this is my short of 2025. Again, I'd be curious to see if some of these lag. And if they do bounce, great. I mean, could it go channel high, channel low, channel high, channel low? We'll see. Right? Keep an eye on it. 0.618 is coming at some point. Just a matter of when, if. SMCI, again, people trading this one. I don't know. Got nothing on it. Intellectual property, just be careful. I mean, they've got lawsuit issues. We've talked about Intel. Like, I never really trust any up move on this SPY. And they're like, oh, I don't know. There you go. Comes right back down. Now, near term, have you watching the backside of the trend line? I don't think there's really much of a premium here worth noting. Just be careful with it. I don't think anyone who buys them out, it's like a charity. AVGO, here you go, 200-day area, probably should bounce. But again, if Apple's ripping their contracts with them and going to duplicate their chips for wireless, that can't be good. I mean, they're a large supplier for them. And SMH, same kind of thing. Like, you go from 560, I was saying this yesterday, down, I mean, you got down, you're due to bounce. Even if it's just this, right? You see it, like, again, just can't always be bearish. And this is the problem with bearish is not an investment, right? Because you can only trade bearish and bearish, because that's the thing. Stocks typically go higher. Gotta be careful. Adobe chopping around, looks okay. Holding here at the 50-day. Maybe it has a room up to touch some of these gaps. Touch them all. 500 area. Who knows? Apple, again, I think this one is going to lag. But here's the thing. Chop, fizz. I'd be watching the 240s. If you get it, oh, man. Amazing area to short, in my opinion. Amazon, we talked about this one being oversold. Hits the 200-day. Booyakasha. Perfect trade. If you took this, leave a comment below. Again, leave a comment if you took some of these trades. I just love hearing the feedback. Even if you don't want to donate, I don't give a shit. If you do, thank you. I really appreciate it because, again, do all this for free. But if you don't, and I just want to hear that people are doing well. Again, share the wealth. Meta, this one we talked about, looked a little oversold, retesting the old range highs. There you go. CRM said this yesterday. Is like, this one's probably due to bounce. It's been crushed. Watch the 200-day. Keep it simple, stupid. Google, same kind of thing. We said, watch what happens here. You watch this blue zone. Nice bounce. I mean, it pulls back from 208 down to 168 due to bounce. Microsoft, we said Microsoft likes dollar weakness. Said this many times. And you're at channel lows. Okay, due to bounce. Congrats. NDAQ, and this is where I don't think Nasdaq's going to be leading. Did not do much today. Again, I think this exchange gets cooked in time. MicroStrategy, congrats. If you traded this, is another one, the 200-day. Fucking A, right? We talk about chop bottoms, chop tops, retest, W's. You got it. Look at that. Congrats. Netflix. This one's been holding up pretty well. 50-day, chopping around. Really got nothing on that. Roblox. Hey, man. Seems okay here. Again, it gapped down. It just seems like it had a big move, so I would be surprised if it consolidates. Pan W, again, I like cybersecurity names long term. I just, again, it's not oversold enough for me to get like excited. This one does. Tesla definitely makes sense. We talked about this, like breaking 200-day, but being a bear trap. Oh yeah. Again, if you trade it around, this is why it's so hard sometimes, is that to trade around the lows when you're getting in, like you said, if you're buying like Gush today or some of these you're trading into them, you're getting them, you're not going all in, but you're watching them, you're setting your stops. So again, like Tesla there, Insight, another one that we like to get bought out at some point. Not going anywhere real quickly, but whatever. HIMS, we've talked about this mid to low 30s area. Again, I personally think it's going to be dead money because it had a big move. I mean, I talked about this run up into the Super Bowl. There you go. And then they got their ad. Game over, in my opinion. I don't think they do anything that special, but let people get mad when I say that. Palantir, we talked about this one holding the 80 level. Congrats. Again, chop bottom, that's a W. Now, how high? I don't know. Watch the gap. I'd say 101. But again, here's the thing, right? If you bought this at 80 and you roll up to 100, not a bad trade, right? Baba, I think this is chopping up at the highs. We'll see. Coin, talked about this one being oversold, right? Here you go. Channel lows. Booyah. Booyah, Jim. Due for a bounce. Maybe it gets up into the 250, 248 area. McDonald's, this one had an interesting action yesterday. Long wick, seems to be consolidating under the 300s. DKNG, again, we talked about some of these trash names being oversold. Okay. Oh, why did I do that? Oh, damn. I didn't mean to. I'll have to go back and fix that later. Anyway, DKNG, oversold bounce. Airbnb, same thing. Oversold bounce. Costco, earnings after the close tomorrow. Be careful. Chopping at the highs, got nothing on it. Starbucks said we love the short here. You're welcome. Look what's interesting though. A lot of folks were DMing and saying like, "What now?" I'm like, "Well, if the market looks like it's gonna rip and pop, do you think it's gonna break 110 on its own? Probably not on the first test." So this is where you go. Okay, thank you God. Look for the bounce. Trade around it. Fuck yeah. Again, I think Starbucks. I mean, they're laying off. They only laid off people when things are bad. Last massive layoffs was 2008, 2009. Just telling you. FedEx. This one seems to be holding up at the range lows. I mean, you can see it pretty simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Good trade if you want to play a bounce. Caterpillar, meow. We talked about this one looking super juicy for a bounce. Look at that doji. And then you gap up this morning. See what happens. Get over the 8 and 10 day, 20 day. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't come back to 350 pretty quick. Again, trading for points. Deere said this one looks interesting. Chopping around. It's been holding up really well. I don't know if I would jump too heavy into it because it has been a leader. So it could consolidate more, but keep an eye on it. Nucor. Again, if you got to like steel down here now. If commodity dollar starts weakening, I mean, it makes sense down here. Keep an eye on this stuff. Again, this is where if you buy any of this stuff, have tight stops. Have tight stops. Again, dollar action critical here. Because again, it doesn't mean the market could get slammed, but here's the thing. I think you will rotate into commodities, in my opinion. X, chopping around. VALE, we talked about this one pulling back. Damn, not much of a pullback. We'll see if it continues. Again, if you bought into 8s, you're feeling pretty good. Arrow was just screaming to the hills the last couple of. I like it down here. And then look today. Professional gap up. Junior copper name. You're fucking welcome again. A lot of people trade. I know a lot of people looking at this as a trade said this could be the first bottom. And this is sometimes what happens. A capitulation, and you get one more exhaustion, and then boom. CCJ, we talked about 40 area holding. Looks like it could. Again, I personally would like to see it lower, but that's just me being wishful thinking. CF, again, The dollar's bottoming. Ag names, keep an eye on them. CF, we put out the alert on Mosaic at the bottom yesterday. And, well, not yesterday, last week. I apologize. Then yesterday was like, doji. Wow. Feels like a good spot to pick up some of these names. Again, tight stops. And maybe you might have to trade them. That's the only thing here is like they might not be straight line bottoms, but they feel like they're bottoming. NTR, same kind of thing. AA Aeron, who doesn't love aluminum? I do. Now, again, keep in mind, these are trades, but you have to define your risk. So if they pull back your entries, you might have to go. And that's where we're going to talk about it. Like if you go into options expiration, it might be worth selling covered calls at some point on these pops. XLF, again, not surprised it bounced a little bit. This thing's been a chop top in my opinion. JP Morgan, I still have those June puts. What are they? Like 250s? Yeah. Cool. Patience, Grasshopper. Got them cheap, and obviously they got cheaper. But again, I think financials hold the bag for all of this. But they're a little oversold too. I mean, the whole market feels like it has a bounce potential. Bank of America, same kind of thing. Right? Goldman Sachs. Right? Bounce. I mean, this is the thing I'd like. I mean, this is what's interesting. Carry is nothing today. Chopping around, keeping on it. Southern Copper and FCX. I mean, we always watch these names. Look at this pro. Again, a lot of pro gaps in some of these copper names. Again, this is why you watch the videos. Leave a comment below. I appreciate all of the interaction. Again, like another one. Ching. Pro gap. Keep an eye on this stuff, right? XBI. We talked about this one. Range lows, probably due to bounce. Congratulations. Jets. Benny and the Jets. Interesting oversold action. Keep an eye on it. Again, I mean, I think that thing gets cooked in time. XHB, we talked about housing, right? Like, felt like a little bit of a bear trap down here. Keeping on it. Again, these things, at worst, they're just due to bounce. Solar said even this crap was due to bounce. Like, look at it. Right? Santan, Sedge, right? ENPH, all due to bounce. First Solar is my favorite here at this spot. Makes sense. Again, HYG, you got to be out of your mind by corporate debt. Let's jump into oil because this is where it gets interesting, right? You're at support levels. Not really so much, again, like the USO. But keep an eye. Like UNG's been holding. I mean, natural gas in general has been holding up pretty well. Again, I like the short of the KOLD. I don't know if there's much. I guess this thing's going to reverse split time. I don't know. Again, if you shorted the highs, congrats. It's just I don't know how much lower, how fast it can go, but I'm not too concerned. Like again, I'd be looking for drops in natural gas to reshort that. XOP put out the alert today. Said watch the channel lows. If you went and zoomed out on the weekly, same kind of stuff as area here. Nice damn doji. 3 days of absolutely double volume. Somebody has to absorb this. I feel like, again, you can have a trade with a tight stop. Keep it simple. Bought the gush around 21.90. Have no problem holding that one for a while. Close at 23 and change. And when I say a while, probably going to ride this up for, say, 7 to 10 days. I don't know if, I mean, it could do one of these where it could, 24 up to 30. So do the math here. 21 up to 28. I mean, it's not a bad trade, 25%. Keep an eye on it. CVE, again, I like this one down here a lot. It makes sense, y'all. Again, these things have gotten, like, blasted off. And at worst, you're just getting an oversold bounce, which, again, if that's all it is, great. Trade it. Valero, look at the gasoline names. They were getting pounded most of the day, and then they started getting a little wick at the end of the day. Again, we'll see. But this is the thing. They don't look as bad. I mean, look at these. Like, these have been in big chop cycles. Not absolutely just, some of these names have been blasted. We like BP long term, right? Like talking about the buy. If you bought this yesterday at the blue zone, looking pretty good. ExxonMobil. I'm not really a big fan of Exxon because I don't like it long term. I don't think if it has as much upside. So I'd like to trade names that I feel a little more leveraged, but that looks like a potential bottom there, right? Like just keep it simple, stupid, right? All right, we'll see what happens there. Oxy, again, we like Oxy. Put out the alert. I'm like, dude, I don't know why you wouldn't just take a stab down here. Makes sense. I mean, you're playing a game where Buffett is gonna either buy this company outright or not. I mean, just if it rises, then he's not gonna buy as much. He's gonna let it perform. I mean, it looks really. I mean, it makes sense here. Again, tight stops. If you put a dollar stop and let it go, great. EQT, we talked about this one holding up pretty well. Seems okay. Again, we like oil, gas. I mean, natural gas is holding up really well. So, see what happens here. And last but not least, Flex LNG. Keep an eye on it. Chopping at the range Lows, again, I think will be natural gas exporters in time. So again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Always here to help. I appreciate all the love, support, generous donations. If you want to donate on YouTube, you can do the like donations thing or use the links in the description below. I appreciate it. Again, we do all this for free. I want you guys to win. And if you do donate, I always tell you this, like I'm going to reach out to you and ask how I can help, because that's just how I feel about it. Like I want everybody to win. So have a great evening. Talk to y'all later. Peace.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.